Hey guys, Dr. 5 here with episode number 41 of the Fulham career on FIFA 22. We're kicking today's episode off as we travel to take on Liverpool. It's first place versus second place. All the marbles up for grabs here, obviously. Thankfully, we have a bit of an advantage over them. I believe it's a 6-point advantage. So even if we lose here today, we should... Well, we will still be top of the table. You can see there, one loss at home, and that actually was in the previous episode to Sheffield United. But you can also see, Liverpool actually haven't lost away from home this season. So they're actually better away than we are at home, just for the fact that they have not lost yet. Obviously, it was the former Liverpool man, the Ryan Brewster brace, that did put us down as we do go 1-0 down. Again, is that man. It always that man. It is Mohamed Salah to make it 1-0 to Liverpool. And things kind of go from bad to worse as just before half-time we lose possession and an incredibly speedy counter-attack here from Liverpool. Right down the other end, Mo Salah takes it in his stride, just calmly plays it across, and then it's going to eventually find Firmino, who finds Fabinho. And at that point, we kind of thought there is no real comeback in this game. We did simulate and we did ultimately lose the game by an additional goal. And we just had to take that, move on into the Europa League. This is the quarter-finals, taking on Real Sociedad away from home for the first leg. Now, 25 minutes into the game, I believe this to be a straight red card. Unfortunately for ourselves, though, the referee did deem it as just a yellow, maybe for the fact it was only 25 minutes into the game. If it was a bit later in, maybe that would have been a straight red. But for me personally, I do believe it should have been a straight red card. And then being done to 10 men and us having the advantage. But 34 minutes into the game, a little glitch in the matrix did mean that Rylo Weber could just slot that ball home on the line after the keeper got caught up on the post. You know, we're thankful to the EA gods for that one. But just past the hour mark here, a chance again for them, easily collected by Rodak, and we look to hit him on the counter, trying to double our lead. And in the process, the man is taken out, and the captain of Sociedad, Martin Zubimendi, is sent off. So they're down to 10 men for the foreseeable rest, or for the rest of the game, and he will be banned in the next game. And when I'm pressing with James Maddison, I dive in behind and I take out the man, and it is a straight red card for James Maddison. So both teams down to 10 men for the final few minutes. Thankfully, we could hold on. And thankfully, we bounced back from that embarrassing loss to Liverpool with a win against Sociedad. Now, returning to the Premier League, you can see here 20 goals for Riley Webber. That is back-to-back 20-plus goal seasons in the Premier League, as we are taking on West Ham at Craven Cottage. Now, our previous two games at Craven Cottage, we have lost. Back-to-back losses at home for us, and it is not what you want when you're facing the pressure of Liverpool and the pressure of maintaining first place. And when you go 1-0 down to Vlasic very early on in the game against West Ham, it's things going from bad to worse to extremely terrible, poor, just the worst situation possible for us. Thankfully, though, Emmanuel Dennis down the other side does make it 1-1, and he gives us a slight slither of hope. But just 5 minutes into the second half, a chance here for West Ham as Chukwueze just glides past Anthony Robinson, trying to rest some players. And it's clear to see that some of the players we have in our rotational teams just aren't good enough. And actually, Max Aaron's there, getting out-headed to the ball by Antoine Griezmann. Had all the time in the world to jump up and just nod it away. But obviously the momentum, the running momentum that Antoine Griezmann did have, allowed him to get to the ball first and allowed him to put it into the back of the net. And we're 2-1 down again. We are losing at home. And this could be a third consecutive loss at home. And it is going to be... because in the 74th minute of the game, the final nail is put in the coffin. And just like that, we're going to jump to the result. And you can see, we did kind of get a comeback. Dennis did get another goal. But ultimately, it was too little, too late. And 3-2 was going to be the final score. Another loss at home. And that does not bode well for the fact that we have the second leg in the quarterfinals of the Europa League at home against Real Sociedad, and we need to kind of stop the rot quickly before it becomes a serious issue. And a very early chance for them. We can't clear our lines properly. Adnan Yamaza has the chance to make it 1-1, but the ball actually falls behind him. I'm very thankful for that, because it does mean we can get away on the counter-attack here as Roberts finds Izet Begovic on this left-hand side inside to Weber, turns his man Diego Carlos brilliantly and just strikes it across goal. And thankfully, there is always one man you can rely upon in this Fulham team. It is Riley Weber. I think he's in his development training. He's 1 week away from jumping to that 90 rated overall. He'll be the first player we've had in the team to reach that rating, very deservedly so. Another man who has been brilliant this season is Izet Begovic. He has definitely put his name in the hat next season to be our starting striker, to be given a better development plan, and there's definitely potential for the sale of both Liam Delap and Emmanuel Dennis. Get the funds up and allow us to make some mega signings in other positions, purely for the fact that Izet Begovic is so clinical. So he's a big game player. He is a big game player, and he proves it once again here in the Europa League quarterfinals. His goal is what does mean we get the victory against Sociedad. We end the losing streak at home. Obviously not in the Premier League. We still have a Premier League game streak of losing games, 3 in a row. But we go to Ellen Road, we take on Leeds, and there's one thing about Leeds: whenever you play them on any FIFA, they play very attacking football, similar to how they did under Bielsa, and they're very poor defensively. So you can see there, we rounded the keeper there with the first chance with Riley Weber. 1 goal here, 15 minutes in. Second goal, puts a bit of spin on it using the outside of his boot. 2 goals up already, 15 minutes into this game, and Riley Weber has a chance to get a first half hat-trick, a hat-trick in the opening 20 minutes if the balls are played right here as Maddison looks to play it through to Riley Weber. He is one-on-one with the keeper, cuts inside with a nice little Ronaldo chop, curls it past, and 20 minutes, 16 seconds into this game, Riley Weber knows he will be taking home the match ball at the end of the game. We're already 3 goals up. It is absolutely what you love to see. And as I was saying in the previous game, there's always one man you can rely upon in this team. It is Riley Weber. Now, defensively, not so much as the ball deflects off of Carvalho, who I think scores maybe his 3rd or 4th own goal in his Fulham career. So he's definitely getting up there with Richard Dunn in the race for the most own goals in Premier League history. But as soon as they score, no matter, the door opens for them slightly, we slam it shut with a James Maddison goal to make it 4-1. And then just before the halftime whistle is blown, Izet Begovic gets in on the action. It is an assist for Riley Weber there as well. 5-1 the score before halftime. It is exactly what you want. A nice trip to Ellen Road, just to kind of get the confidence back up for these final few games, because we need to be booming, we need to be fit, we need to be ready, and we need to strike at maximum efficiency throughout to ensure that Liverpool don't catch us, to ensure that we don't drop any more points, and to ensure that at the end of this season we are the Premier League champions. As James Ward-Prowse gets on in the action, we've got Maddison, Weber, Izet Begovic, Ward-Prowse. Kulusevski unfortunately hasn't picked up on one. He had a good debut against Crystal Palace. He scored a goal in that one. Since then, he's very good actually against Genk I think it was. But in the league, not quite lighting it all on fire in the Premier League, but in the Europa League, definitely a contender for one of our better players in the knockout stages, most definitely, as Roberts here nicks the ball off of one of their players. Lovely little flick to find Emmanuel Dennis, who finds the back of the net in injury time and does secure the 7-2 victory. 3 points bringing home from Ellen Road. That's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. 2 poor results against Liverpool and West Ham, but a beautiful one here against Leeds to end off the episode. If you've enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and peace.